Hi, I'm Doug Bell and welcome to the Hot Rod Show. Check this out. Woohoo! How about that? Rev it up again, Colin. That's a V8, folks, and this is the Hot Rod Show. So come on down to the Hot Rod Show. We're going to have a great time. How about this, a 1973 Camaro. Look how pristine this thing is. I know the guy that owns this car, and he's on the show tonight, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it, and you'd be very surprised to know what a guy that owns a car like this does for an everyday job. But as I said, we'll get to that in a moment. How about this, a 1913 Delage. Gas headlamps, you know. I mean, this thing is just absolutely amazing. If you've all heard of rat rods, well, this is a vintage rat because it's never been touched pretty much since the day it was made. Under here's something a little special. No one knows what it is at the moment. It's a surprise to all these guys, and it's even a surprise to Braden, but we'll get to that in a moment. It's just different. Here's a sweet 383 engine. How's that? That's a little bit of bling in it. Anyway, here's my mate Braden. Now, why is Braden on the show? Well, Braden's a foreign rotary guy, and you know, these young fellas, they like to do all sorts of things. Braden's into drifting. I call it swerving and skidding, but Braden, what are we doing here, man?
Well, Doug, for months, we've been trying to get together and bring a family-based television to New Zealand, covering all motorsport-based events, such as your hot rods. We'll also be covering everything from drag racing to foreign rotaries to maybe even rotary lawnmower, who knows? But it's finally come together, Doug, and we're here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Ken couldn't be here today. He had to make a trip down to Taupo, and Ken is another very important person in the program here. Ken, he puts on the Kumu show every year, and we're actually filming this in Ken's shed, so we're not hiding the fact that Ken's a worker, he has a shed, and he's got a TV set in his one. Not what everyone would want to have in their shed, I tell you. It's taken a long time to get here, years and years, but we're finally here. This is our very first episode, and we're excited, we're nervous, and our guests here are a little shaky. Shake? Well, but we're going to have something interesting for you over the next 13 weeks. You know, we're going to be talking about, as Braden mentioned, talking about rotaries and four-cylinder cars, some really hot four-cylinder cars, drifting, drag racing, vintage cars. As I mentioned, this is a vintage car and it's a rat rod sort of thing combined. So, you know, we're calling it a vintage rat, and you'll see a little bit about it. It's just absolutely, it's a gold mine, this car. So, you know, as we go through this episode and as we go through the following 13 episodes, you'll see a very diverse selection of cars and vehicles and what makes them go. Well, here we are. Kevin, I was just wondering if you could bring the hand cleaner towels over, please. This is Kevin. He's the first guest we got on tonight. Now, before you start anything, make sure you've got clean hands. And what we do is we use our CRC hand wipes. These are pretty good. They smell good too. Can you throw those to someone in the background? Pass them around. These are good. Always start off with your hands clean, okay? We'll just leave that there for the moment. Now we're going to talk about Kevin's Delage. Kevin, can you come over and tell us about your car, please? This here is a 1913 Delage. Kevin, tell us about your Delage, please. This is a fantastic thing. You've heard of rat rods. This is a vintage rat. This hasn't been touched since pretty much the day it was born. Kevin?
Well, there wouldn't be much that hasn't been fixed, Doug, in fairness to it. But look, what you're looking at is pretty much the state of the art of the light car immediately pre the First World War. When I say light cars in those days were divided into two categories, really. You know, the big heavy bangers. Okay, yeah. You know, your Rolls Royces, your Hispanos, your Isotofascinis, this sort of things. Yeah. And then you step down to the somewhat cheaper and what they would call a light car.
Do you know what this would have sold for brand new in its day?
What it sold for New Zealand, I don't know. I think the price in the UK was round about £375.
£375.
So, I mean, that was a fair chunk of change.
I almost weigh that much.
That was, you know, you would still have had to have been fairly wealthy to afford one.
Yeah.
I mean, although they would have been much cheaper than you know, your bigger bangers.
Yes.
Nevertheless, not really cheap.
Here's something interesting too. If you look over there, you can see that the handbrake and the gear shifter is on the right-hand side. That's because there's only one door working at the moment. But
well, there is only one door.
There is only one door,
and that was fairly common.
Yes.
Gear lever and brake on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
It's a 4-speed change, and the handbrake goes forward to go on.
Okay.
So, you know, you would expect normally to
pull back.
you have to push forward.
Yeah.
And you'll see the accelerator is in the middle.
Yes.
So you've got, you know, clutch and brake either side, accelerator in the middle, which was pretty common right through until the mid-20s even.
Yeah,
for European cars.
We have a 24 Chrysler, and it has the accelerator in the middle as well, but we've got a big Ajax Bolt because it just looks a lot better. Yeah. But Braden, and as you know, Braden, he's a foreign rotary guy. He's got a couple of questions about this.
Kevin, I've been looking in here, and I'm just wondering, what do we got here? A bit of a boost gauge or a beer gauge?
You wish.
Hey?
That is speedometer. Now, originally it would not have had one. I actually fitted that on myself. If you needed a speedometer, you bought that extra.
Okay.
You know, all you bought from the factory was essentially the chassis and engine and axles, you know, a rolling car. And you would order the body separately, or Delage in those days had their own sort of catalogue of standard bodies that they could supply, or you took it to your own coach builder and had the body built.
Earlier, as I was observing Kevin, and I was wondering what timber is the wheels made out of?
I couldn't tell you what the front ones are. They're original. The rear ones...
Me and some of the guests, we've come down to a conclusion that they're obviously a French wood. So we'll leave the front ones at that.
Yeah, funny that. The rear ones are made here. The rear ones, I think, are a hickory or something like that. They're made here in Palmerston North. Travelling up from Wellington some few years ago, I got as far as Mercer and the back wheels collapsed. Obviously, it's the back wheels do all the work. The front ones just go round and round. So if you're going to have trouble, it will always tend to be the back wheels.
Is this the gas tank here?
That's the gas tank. Yeah, It's just gravity feed, unscrew the top, put the petrol in, turn the tap on and away it goes.
Hang on, will we see something like this when we lift the bonnet up?
It won't be so bright and shiny, but
it'll be just as
equally
beautiful.
impressive.
Yeah.
Equally impressive.
Well, let's have a look.
You're talking all of a mighty 2.2 litres.
2.3.
Well, 2.3, yeah, 2297, I think. Magneto ignition.
Yeah.
So there's no electrics on the car. And
no electrics. The headlights are acetylene.
Acetylene, and the side lamps are kerosene.
Kerosene, yeah.
But this, interestingly enough, or perhaps not, but this was the first engine that Delage actually made for his commercial cars.
Yes.
Prior to that, he had built his own racing car engines, but this was the first one that he made all himself.
Is this the original horn?
No, it's not the original horn. The original horn, according to the photographs I have of the car when it was brand new, was actually mounted on the side, and it was
swirly
a swirly, not a big swirly one, but looked a bit like a trumpet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's obviously been mislaid and replaced at some stage or other.
Here's the power system here for the headlights. This is the acetylene making box.
Acetylene generator. Yeah,
acetylene generator. Can you just give us a little bit of a few pointers on that?
Yeah, very simply. You unscrew those two legs there, and they open. That top tank is detachable. That comes off, so there are actually two tanks there, right?
Yes.
The bottom tank you put in your carbide.
Right.
If anybody these days knows what carbide is, it's a sort of a stone-like looking. It looks like lumps of cement.
Yeah, the little pellets and so forth.
Yeah. You put those in there, and this is water. You put water in the top tank.
Is that original, Kevin, or?
Yep. Well, again, you bought your lamps and everything separate.
Oh, okay.
You know, those you ordered, so you didn't get any of this with the car.
Okay.
You ordered that when you bought it.
So it's a day car when you buy it.
Yep. Then turn this tap on here. That allows water to drip down onto the carbide.
Yes.
The gas comes out, travels up through the pipes. Then you simply open the front of the light and light the jets internally there where the acetylene comes out.
Do you light them very often at all?
Oh, it's a party trick.
Special occasions, yeah.
It's a party trick.
Yeah.
I don't like to use it out on the road at night when it's dark because people come up behind you very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm speeding along at
what are we talking about?
death-defying 40 mile an hour.
How many speeds is the gearbox?
4.
4 speeds.
4 speed and reverses through first. So you go into first and then
keep going.
through again to get into reverse.
Wow. I don't know if you've got a good shot of the upholstery here, but this is real rat rod upholstery. You couldn't get better, and it's got horsehair in it too. Yeah, that's
a long-time owner of the car was a very big man, and you can see the indent that he wore in the driver's seat. Yeah. And he was more your build than mine, Doug, and I need a whole pile of cushions in order to allow my feet to reach to reach the pedals.
Got to have that, don't you?
That's the spare tank. Yeah, well, the tank only holds 8 gallons, so you need it pays you to carry a little spare.
And of course, we've got a mother-in-law seat.
Yeah.
Is your mother-in-law around? We can pop her in here and try it out. Or is she in here?
No, she isn't around.
She's in here.
But she wouldn't fit. Yeah. You've woken her up.
Yeah, I've woken her up. Like one reason why Kevin has got his car here today also is to really give people an idea of T-buckets are a very big thing in hot rodding. Always have been and around for many, many years. And if you'll notice, if you were to take the back piece here off, and to take all the radiator and the mud guards and all that off, and to stick some mag wheels on this and drop a motor like this inside, take this off here, put a lot of chrome on it, you'd have a hot rod, like a traditional T-bucket hot rod. And we're going to go and show you one of those in a few moments. So, Kevin, thank you very much for bringing your car on the show. This is a beauty, man. This is a honey. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Here we go. We're with Gavin now. Gavin, how you doing? Come on down, man. We want to look at your T-bucket. Here we have a classic example of a hot rod. It's styled on a Model T, a 23 Ford T.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, one thing you notice, the back of the body here and the back of the body on Kevin's Delage there, it's very similar. So anyway, okay, let's get into this, Gavin.
Hey. Now this is more my style. Tell us a little bit about what you're running here, Gavin.
It's a 350 Chev, 6-speed manual and 9-inch diff.
I was looking at your back tyres here and come in here, Doug.
Right.
They are wide.
Yep.
They are wide. So I hear that the body was handmade by yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Aluminium body, wheeled up, copying the fiberglass original body.
Yep.
A few little modifications. I lowered the body down a little bit, a couple of inches.
Time-wise,
And
what did the bucket take you to?
took me about 5 months to do the body, after work and the weekends.
It really is just fantastic. But this thing, I know it's not full of helium.
No, laughing gas for the passenger.
This is brilliant. When I first saw this at the Capping Classics car show, I thought that this was just amazing. We've had this on our Facebook page for about 3 weeks, I think, and we've had about 3,500 people look at this thing. It's all hand, and look, that's all hand swayed. That's not come out of a mould like that. That's just a lot of time and effort going into there. Have a look inside. See, look, though it's not just it's not just a bit of aluminium plopped on top. This has all been wrapped around. This thing is just well, it won't rust.
It's all gas welded as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not TIGged like
The license plates. Do you drive around with those on, or do you change them out, or have you ever,
No, that's
you
the
drive
plates.
around with them on?
Yeah.
And so you've never been pulled up?
Apparently it's a $200 fine, but I'm
Is
yet
that
to
all?
find that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Have you ever taken this down the drag strip?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're not going to race it, but how about we start her up, Gavin, and
Yeah, sure.
give her a roar?
Tight. You got any Vaseline to get in and out?
Yeah, you have to be very bendy.
Yeah.
All these switches.
Thanks, Gavin.
Now, okay, Gavin, we've heard your engine going. Let's hear a little bit about what's inside of it. You know, how you've warmed it up. I take it you've warmed it up. Everyone's got to do something to an engine. Come on.
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't weigh anything, so
Well,
You
that's
don't
right.
have to-
It doesn't. It's got very little weight to pull along.
yeah. Everything's been totally scratch built.
Yeah. So also with these, you know, like you've got to go through certification before you can put this on the roads.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? What were the things that really, you know, held you up, or did anything hold you up in the certification process?
No, it was really good. I used Mark Stokes to
Yeah.
do the certification. He was
Yeah.
really, really good and helpful, and no, it was really easy.
Your steering, that's pretty nifty. What sort of steering box you put in there?
That was a Mitsubishi Sigma, I think.
Your wheels,
No,
what kind of wheels have you got on the front? Are they
just
welded?
weld racing, yeah.
They look good, don't they? They look like you mean business.
Yeah.
And like with your back, like your traction bars and that, you haven't had much trouble with twisting, you know, from taking off too fast?
No,
No?
it seems to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't noticed anyway.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool tea bucket. I got to tell you, this thing
Awesome.
stands out. You know, like with the all aluminium body, it's just different. It's just different.
So, so how long has it taken you to get it on the road? How long has it been a project of yours?
It took me 7 years to build off and on. And sometimes, or a couple of years, you just leave it in the corner of the shed and
Yeah.
drag it back out later on. But it's been on the road since 2006.
Oh,
So
Okay, Gavin, we know this isn't the only aluminium car you've built. Can you tell us about a couple of the others that you've done?
I did a 250 GTO Ferrari with a couple of mates a couple of years ago. That's gone to the UK.
UK, yeah?
Yeah.
And we're exporting cars now.
Yeah, the guy hired me and
Yeah.
bought the building and that to do the car.
What, have you touched any others? Your other aluminium cars?
Doing 8C Alfa Romeo Monzas
Yeah.
through the week,
Yeah.
and starting to do a Daytona Coupe, maybe two of them
Ooh.
after work.
Some serious horsepower there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll be doggone. Well, here he is, New Zealand, Mr. Aluminium Car. Okay, we're here with Colin Marshall and his beautiful 73 Camaro with the 350 engine in it. Colin, she's a honey. This is absolutely beautiful. I noticed when you pulled up before that the paintwork on this thing looks like it'll drip off and leave a puddle on the floor. It would look good, you know, a bit of red and with the black and white tiles, but tell us a little bit about this car. It doesn't have a supercharger poking through the bonnet. It doesn't have tyres that wide on it. It's just a beautiful looking car, you know.
It's just a driver, Doug.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's I'm pretty passionate about classic cars
Yeah.
and the American cars and that sort of stuff. I can't take credit for the paint and all that sort of stuff. You know, the guys that did that did a fantastic job.
Who painted it for you?
Well, two. The previous guys down in Mount Maunganui where I got the car, John Olds did it originally. And then we had some repairs done with Moselles, who did it.
Okay.
Who did it in
Moselle,
Henderson-
they've
in
got a
Henderson.
good name.
Yeah, they did a great
Yeah.
job. It really was. But it's just a driver's car.
It's
you know?
a driver's car.
It's not a show car.
But it's beautiful. You've got to feel a little excited driving down the motorway in this.
it's noisy.
You get waves.
Yeah, lots. But yeah, it's noisy and guzzles gas. So that's all right.
Well, it should do, shouldn't it? That's well. One other interesting thing about Colin, he's got a beautiful car, but Colin works at an insurance company called Protector Insurance. So, Colin, what makes Protector Insurance different from the other folk?
With Protector, I mean, we specialise in motor vehicles, you know, in wheels. Anything with wheels, you can get passionate
Anything
about.
with wheels.
Yeah,
How many wheels do they need to have?
Well, a few, you know. I mean, we don't do house and contents and all that sort of stuff. I mean, that to us is the boring stuff. If it doesn't take gas, then you can't get too passionate about it. So, you know, we're New Zealand's biggest motorcycle insurer, and now we're into classic cars as well. And it's basically because at Protector, I mean, we're all passionate about cars. We're owners. We're hot rodders. And so we understand the market, and we can get interested about it.
Well, I don't know if anybody know, but on the North Shore in Auckland here, every Sunday, one Sunday a month, the last Sunday, isn't it? Every month,
Yep.
there's a thing called the Caffeine and Classics that's held down at Smales Farm. If you get on the motorway, go across the Harbour Bridge, it's the third off-ramp. It's the North Coast off-ramp. And there's this Caffeine and Classics. They have, 300, 400, 500 cars at times?
Yeah. I mean, we started out, you know, hoping to get 50 cars. You know, it was just a bit of interest, see what happened. Last month there was nearly 800 cars that turned up. So.
That's fantastic. And that was your second birthday too.
Yeah. Yep.
In 2 years, you've gone from 50 cars once a month to get in 850 on that day. 800?
Yeah, around 800. I mean, it's New Zealand's biggest car meet now, a monthly car meet.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like I've been to 3 of these events now, and you can go to certain events, and you might have V8s, you might have foreign rotaries, you might have motorcycles. But at Caffeine and Classics, thanks to Colin, we've got everything turning up there, and it's a really beautiful atmosphere. There's people with Porsches. If you want to take a Porsche, they don't let you take them for a ride, but. Colin, there's just everything: military vehicles, motorcycles. There's cars that you wonder why they're there. Cars that are still completely rusted out.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what's a classic and what's a good car or not. So if you're passionate about your car, you bring it along and
you just talk.
Come and grab a coffee and talk to other people.
Go and kick other people's tyres.
Yeah, it's the variety. That's why it works. You know, so we get vintage cars, we get all sorts there, which is great.
I mean, isn't this fantastic? You know, Protector, they do this, and you know, Colin organises it all, and you just turn up, you buy coffee, and you talk to people and meet people. It's surprising how many people in Auckland don't even know this event goes on. But you know, Colin does a great job. So, Colin, I want to show you something. This is a bit of insurance. This is called CRC smoke test. You ever seen that before?
No.
I'll tell you what, you've seen one of these, that's a smoke detector. But this is what you do. If it's in a high to reach place and you want to get something, there you go. Now that's good for insurance. Smoke test from CRC. Anyway, back to Colin. So Colin, now when's the next how often you hold these once a month? It's the last Sunday in every month?
Last Sunday of every month.
And it starts about, what, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
Oh, officially 10 o'clock, but
Officially
people,
10 o'clock.
but people usually get there around 9 o'clock, but it's relaxed.
Yeah.
You get there whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Officially it's 10 till 1, but you come whenever you want.
You come whenever you want. Well, we're sort of running out of time today, Colin, and we're going to have a look at this beautiful car. I'm coming to the next Capian and Classics, and we're going to get under the bonnet on this with the camera. But before you leave, I know I've been doing too much of the talking. I'm a little parched, and you know you probably need to pour some of this in your ear. But try some Pete's all natural soda. That's got a hint of mint. That's lemonade with a hint of mint. I wanted that one. Never mind. I'll have this one over here.
You're not having it.
You try that. That's beautiful. This is current. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Happy birthday, Colin.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks for tuning up. This is our first episode, man. Isn't that fantastic?
That's great.
And you're here. Okay, now we told you earlier on in the show that we've got a little surprise for you. Well, here's our little surprise package. Braden's back with us again.
Thanks, Doug.
You know, yeah, you got to come back sometime. And here we have George. Hey, George.
Hi, Doug.
We're going to see something pretty crazy in a minute. You wouldn't have seen very many of these things if at all one in your life, but let's show the people what's underneath the wraps.
There's only one way to find out.
What do you think of that? What is it, George?
It's an 8-ball.
It's an 8-ball.
So do we shake it or?
This is crazy. You better tell the people what it is.
Okay. It's a electric unicycle, I guess, is the description of it. I've been given a name for it, which calls it a psych. I'm still
psych.
trying to work out how that's spelt, whether
Yeah.
it's as in psychologist, but let's just go for psych. CYKE is my name on it. I just wanted to build a one-wheel device that I could ride, and this is it.
Wow, this is crazy. I tell you what. Now you're from Kenya, and is it because you're from Kenya you got this, or?
Oh, I don't think so.
No,
I think it's
just
happened.
It just happens.
Yes.
How about hopping out? I know you got to turn it on. So if you want to turn it on and hop on the thing, and can you show people that you can actually ride this thing?
I can do that. We might need to move the.
We can do that.
It's got a foot stand.
So it will stand up by itself.
Yeah. So the gyros.
It has a gyro to balance it back.
How many gyros in there?
There's just one.
Just one gyro.
basically,
Okay.
one. And then the sideways balance requires the
body.
skill of the operator.
Yeah. Well, the proof's in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to see some proof.
Okay, see you guys.
So long, George. Thank you, George. Man, that was fantastic. That's kind of exciting thing to see. Not many people have seen anything like that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Marriott, for coming out here today. It's been lovely. Well, what do you say, Braden?
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. This episode of The Hot Rod Show is dedicated to Andy Morris.